Justin Buckles, it is a pleasure to be talking with you. We have a show coming up, Latrice, Royale, and the Caravan of Glam. That's November 9th, Saturday at the Liquid Lounge. Tell us about the show. What are we going to see with this?
You will see Latrice Royale. She is the standout contestant from RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 3, and then All-Stars, and as well as RuPaul's Drag U. And I've produced events here in Portland with Latrice, and they have sold out within about a week. Capacity's been about 500 or 600. So I'm really excited to be bringing Latrice to Bend. I think Bend is ready for an event with a world-known drag queen. I don't think that Central Oregon or Bend has ever seen a performer such as Latrice, so I'm really happy to be bringing her. And then the Caravan of Glam is my queer cabaret troupe that I created, manage, and produce all the shows. We're based out of Portland. And we work with about 40 to 50 performers all over the Pacific Northwest, as well as down to San Francisco. So our show will run about 3 hours, and we will have drag performers, we will have burlesque performers, both male and female. We will have acrobats who are doing backflips and aerials and back handsprings in 7-inch heels. It's quite amazing. We will basically have something for everybody. This is not just a drag event. This is a cabaret-style event. About 50% is drag, and the rest is burlesque and acrobats and aerialists and live performers. It will be entertaining across the board. I'm hoping that people walk away with their jaws on the floor, confused about what they saw, but loving it at the same time.
So what goes into putting on a show like this? I mean, this is a caravan, like you said. It's not just a drag show. There's so much more going on. What goes into the planning and making this happen?
A lot. A lot. My background is film and television production. I lived in L.A. for roughly 10 years. I grew up down in Coos Bay. I moved to L.A. when I was 21, so thankfully all of my L.A. experience I remembered and brought up here to Portland. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of work. It's not something that you can put together within, a couple of days. It's a long process. Thankfully, I have brought Ecstasy Inferno, who is a quadruple threat performer here in Portland. I brought her on to manage and coordinate all of the talent and do all the bookings and the show rundowns while I do, all the nitty-gritty, dirty work behind the scenes. And, it's a lot of work. You have to deal with tickets, you have to deal with venues, you have to deal with performers. If performers get sick, how are we going to rework the show? There's a lot of pre-planning, and then the actual couple days before the show, you're kind of walking on eggshells because you're thinking in your head, oh man, did I forget this? Did I forget that? Did I forget this? Thankfully, I think way ahead, and I have everything planned out, so I make it really, really easy on myself, but it is not something that comes easily. It's something that you have to learn, and you have to know that there's going to be some missteps along the way, but you just have to think on your toes quickly and get over it and move on.
How do you select the performers? Do they do auditions, or do you just go by reputation? How are they selected?
Ecstasy more than myself. Ecstasy's been a performer born and raised here in the Portland metro area, so she knows performers. She knows all the performers. She's performed from San Diego to Denver to Portland to Seattle to San Francisco, all over. So she knows every performer, and we're, especially for the Latrice tour, because Latrice is out of this world. I mean, she's amazing. She is professional beyond anything I've ever seen as a performer. So we are really looking for the best of the best when it comes to the Latrice show. So I put it all in Ecstasy's hands, and Ecstasy, reaches out to people, and, if they can do it, then she meets with them and gets them on the phone and, basically lays the rules down. And if they say, yes, I want to be a part of it, then, we bring them on board and we put together a show, and hopefully it goes off without a hitch.
Now, Justin, do we see you on stage?
You might see me on stage. It depends on if I'm drug out there. Everyone that I work with knows that I'm not a fan of being on stage. I tend to stay in the shadows. I tend to not really, I love doing press, I love doing radio, I love doing television, but I am a very shy individual and always have been and probably always will be. So I will not be performing. I will not be in drag. I will more than likely stay in the shadows, and you probably won't see me unless, like I said, somebody drags me out there, and they always try to. So I probably will be on stage for a very split second, and then I'll run off.
So back to the show. Is this an all-ages show?
It is 21 and older. unfortunately. I would love to do all ages, and we're working on that for shows going forward. But, the first one at Liquid, we're doing, 21 and older. It seems like a good fit, especially with the HDC shows that they've done in the past. The response in the audience has been good, and they've all been very well attended. So we are working on trying to figure out how we can lower the age so more people can see this. One thing that we're going to be doing with every Caravan and Glam show in Central Oregon, Bend specifically, is we're going to be meeting with the queer youth, the LGBTQ youth that are not going to be able to attend our shows, but we're going to be meeting with them for a couple of hours before each show so they can meet with the performers, take pictures, ask questions. We're really, really, really pushing for every Caravan and Glam show throughout the state of Oregon to work with the youth as best we can, because it is important that they are involved in as many outlets within the LGBT community as possible, because they are a part of the LGBTQ community. So.
Well, and people need to know, too, that a portion of the all ticket sales go towards the continued support of Human Dignity Coalition and PFLAG.
Every show that we're doing throughout the state of Oregon, we will be making donations to LGBTQ organizations that are local. So every single Caravan of Glam show, we're doing them bi-monthly starting November 9th at Liquid. We will be working directly with PFLAG and the Human Dignity Coalition. So we will be making a donation after each and every show, which is something that is dear to my heart. And when I created the Caravan and Glam and started putting all these shows together, first thing I said was we need to do some type of charitable aspect to every single show. We're fortunate to have PFLAG and HDC on board helping us promote and market, and in exchange for that, we're going to be supporting them every single show. I feel like if they're going to come support you, if the community is going to come support you, you need to support the community back. And I've done dozens upon dozens of charitable events up here in Portland. It's something that I wish more people would do.
Now, the troupe consists of all genres of performers. You've got drag, burlesque, male and female, acrobats, comedians, live singers, gymnasts. I mean, you've got everything going on here. And it also says that the shows are very interactive and audience-driven.
Yes.
What does that mean? Do people need to be prepared?
People should probably be prepared for anything. Don't be surprised if we come out to the audience and we drag you up on stage, and, within a couple of minutes after that, we have a drag queen spanking you. I mean, we want to be interactive. We want it to be audience-driven. I feel like when the audience is involved, and a friend of yours is dragged up on stage and there's 10 people that came with that person that's on stage, those 10 people can take pictures, and those 10 people will be talking about it for years and years and years and years. I mean, that's one thing that I really, really try to do with all of my shows, is I want the audience to feel like they're a part of the show. I don't want them to sit there and cross their legs and cross their arms and just watch the show. I want them to be a part of the show. So we will be coming down as the audience. We will be pulling people up on stage. Just be prepared. It's we're not going to do anything crazy, but we're going to have a really good time, and we're going to do as much with the audience as we possibly can. We want people to come up on stage. We want to do contests. We want to do fundraising. We want the audience to be just as much a part of the show as we are.
I can't wait to attend. I think it'll be a blast. And now the tickets, you've got general admission tickets for $20 and then $30 VIP, and then, of course, $25 at the door the day of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What's included in the VIP?
The VIP is personal meet and greet with Latrice and the Caravan and Glam cast after the show. So you will be able to take as many pictures with Latrice. You will be able to chit-chat with her, autographs, the whole shebang. And then you will get reserved seating around the catwalk, because Liquid is building a catwalk that will go out into the middle of the audience, and you will get a reserved seat right at the catwalk.
Tell me, Justin, I mean, you do a lot of work. Like you said, you've worked 15 years experience in film and television and live event production, putting these shows on specifically in the Northwest and Oregon. What does this work mean to you?
This work means that, that's a deep question. Wow, okay. Well, number one, it means more than you know to me, because I'm supporting a community that I am a part of. The LGBTQ community, we're a large community, but we still have a long way to go in order to be equal with the rest of the communities around the United States. So it's, just to see all the support that I'm getting around the state of Oregon and even beyond Oregon, it's overwhelming. It means more than I can probably express in words. I love the support. I love all the positive feelings, all the positive vibes that are being sent out there. I just want to be a very positive, influential producer, an event producer in the LGBT community. And I feel like I'm starting to do that with the Caravan, and I'm really looking forward to the next, 5 or 10 years, because I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's overwhelming. It warms my heart every time that I see the audience clapping and loving it and having a good time and coming out and supporting what we're doing. And then the fact that we can give back to the LGBT community is even better than anything else, I think, because we need to support each other and, act more like a family and, support all around regardless of what we're doing. That's a hard question for me to answer.
Well, I think you did a great job answering that question.
Oh, thank you.
So where can we buy tickets? Where can we learn more about the show?
You can find us on Facebook. You can send messages to me personally on Facebook. I'm easy to find, Justin Buckles, or Caravan of Glam. Tickets are available on brown paper tickets, and all you have to do is search for the Latrice show in Bend. You can buy the tickets on there, and then of course, day of, we're hoping to get a couple hundred people in there to Liquid Lounge, because, like I said, this is something that has never came to Bend, and this is something that needs to be seen. This Latrice is an amazing performer. I know that Central Oregon is full of LGBTQ allies. The community is very, very, very large. Brown paper tickets, you can get them online or the door the day of.
Latrice Royale and the Caravan of Glam. Justin, It's been a pleasure talking with you, and we'll be talking again as we get closer to the event, and
I cannot wait.
I have no doubt that you're going to pack the house.
I'm hoping so. I really, really, really want to. I mean, that's my whole goal with this. I want as many people to experience the events that I'm producing as possible, because they are positive, influential events for the LGBT community. So we need to make sure that the house is packed and people are standing up and clapping and letting their hair down and being who they want to be.